That's just on playback mode. Very good. Okay. Well, this is not a code zone. Haha. You see how I've deceptively included a not at the front of things. Instead, this is going to be actually something I've been wanting to do for a few weeks. I have no idea which camera to look at. Where am I looking? There we go, up there. Excellent. So what I have managed to acquire for myself is this kit of a hurdy-gurdy, which is an instrument. I have to get used to where the cameras are. And it's meant to be a working one, and I was put in touch with it by moderator Hulig from the Discord server, who sent me a link, and I thought, that's really cool. What'll be really fun one day is to have a go at building that on a stream. Whether it'll be fun or not, I don't know, and we'll see how much daylight I've got left as well, because that's part of the problem here. I'm out by my window. It's nice and sunny, but it is becoming overcast, and we may get to a point where we can't actually see anything at all. So yes, not code this time, just going to be something a bit more chilled on a Saturday afternoon. We're going to have a look at building this hurdy-gurdy. And I will display the hurdy-gurdy for you. It's no way a sponsored stream or anything like that. I've purchased this with my own cash because I thought it looks cool, and they've got all sorts of different models as well. But this one, it's meant to be playable. You're going to turn this crank here, which rubs these sort of rubberized wheels against the strings, and you can sort of hold down the strings with these keys. I don't know what it's going to sound like. I bet it sounds awful. Gist99, hello. Whoa, what a cool build. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It looks like it's a Ukrainian company, as far as I believe. U-Gears are the people that make it, and it's got some instructions on the back. Let's turn that around so you can have a look. And they do all sorts of different things. Right. With that in mind, let's crack it open and start having a look. I don't know if I need any tools. It does say here it's all natural wood. There's no glue connections required. Assembling without glue and chemicals. It's all self-assemblable, it's mechanical, and it's educational. So, yeah, all the stuff that we like here on OLC. And I think I'm going to just grab myself a bit of a drink. And we'll get going with it. So, yeah, a bit different. And I've disclaimed myself by saying it's not Code Zone. So I'm just going to find a little knife here and open up this packaging. I've been waiting to do this now for a few months. It's been sat here tantalising, tempting me on my build bench, which is right next to my PC. Usually the build bench is covered in junk and junk food and crisps and all that sort of stuff. I'll keep that there just in case we need it. So it seems very nicely packaged. It smells like new wood. Peter Parker, hello. Yeah, nice to see you again, Peter. It's been a while. I don't usually do Saturday afternoon streams. Christian, hello too. Yes, as you can see, it's a very strange episode of Code Zone. We're going to be building a hurdy-gurdy. You get quality edutainment on the OLC stuff, don't you? Right, okay. I suppose before... Oh, something's happening. Julian Nichols. I almost bought this recently, says Josh. Danicron, hello. Rosso, will this be functional? It's meant to be, yes. It's meant to be playable. Well, now it looks like people are starting to turn up a bit. The Twitch stats are horribly delayed, so it currently says I've got one viewer, so I don't really know how many. But yes, it is actually something we can build and then try and play. I guess it's going to sound dreadful, but who knows? Let's have a look. But there seems to be quite a lot of components, 292 parts, so we might not finish it today. It's beautifully made, and they have all sorts of stuff on the website. So what have we got here? We've got a sealed pack full of all of these bits. It looks like they've given us some wax and rosin for the strings. I don't think we'll get that far today. I'll keep those in the box. We've got a little bit of sandpaper, 240 grit, I'm guessing. There's some elastic bands. I don't know how it turns. And there's also a smaller pack of components. Oh, Julian Nichols, thank you. Yes, that's what I was saying. How are you and the family? Yes, we are well, and we're actually less tired than we usually are because X10 has started to sleep through the night, so things are getting back to normal. It's very good. Right. There are no instructions. So I think it's just we're gonna have a go. So in the top right, you'll see me occasionally looking over my shoulder. It's the camera so I can look at the chats. AJ Squirrel 86 finally catch a stream. Well, you finally caught one, and it's not a programming stream. And you can see I'm filling myself up full of energy drink and just deciding, yes, let's go and build this live on my build bench, which is right next to my PC. It's good, my build bench, because it's actually two-tiered. I'm not going to move all the cameras around, but I can take this top tier off and have a completely different project going on underneath. So I can have two projects going on simultaneously. Right, what have we got then? So, oh, hang on, there are some instructions on the back. It's all in Ukrainian. I'm guessing it's Ukrainian anyway. Let's see if we can get that to focus there. Yeah, well, UKR, I mean, that kind of gives it away a bit, doesn't it? Zelski, hello. Saladin, yeah. Do you know what? I don't usually like Monster energy drinks, but I must confess, this one is absolutely delicious. It's not the sugar-free one, so it's not too bad. Except it's got this rubbish game on it, Apex Legends. But what I've learnt about having a child is that energy drinks become essential. And then, yes, you become addicted to them. Ah, there's our instructions. That's what we were looking for. Now, where did I put that little knife? Actually, I don't want to sort of deliberately damage anything if I can help it. Now, I know it looks like quite a few people are starting to join in the stream now. Just to point out, I have purchased this with my own money. It is not in any way an endorsement or a sponsorship. Hugh Ligg from the Discord server gave me this sort of tip that it's actually a lot of fun, and when I looked at the company on Amazon, and they've got hundreds of different really complicated models. They're not super cheap. This one I think was about £60, but I believe that the quality is actually pretty good when it's finished. Put the knife back. Right. That's in my rubbish bin. So that's actually reasonably pretty good ply. So it looks like a combination of things are going on here. Certainly it's all laser cut plywood. And that's it. So it's just laser sort of blasted plywood, but some of the cuts are decorative engraves. Things like this here. There we are. They're sort of burnt-in decorations. Now we're going to start a folk metal band. Sibirin Gaga. Good luck with it. Well, thank you. Yes, we should see. There's 292 parts to be getting on with. So no idea how far we'll get today. Lots of parts. And I'm guessing, actually, normally this is the kind of thing I just take on without the instructions, but it looks pretty complicated. And it's meant to be functional and playable, and it's full of moving parts, so I'm going to follow the instructions. Okay. Right, so there's lots of instructions. Oh, that's what we want. That's what we want. Oh, these are nice, high-quality instructions. Oof. Right, okay then. I'll keep the instructions sort of close to me, and I'll try if I can to remember to build sort of in the vicinity of the camera. The audio may sound a bit different because I've got my microphone just a bit further away than usual, so you'll be picking up sort of background reverberations and that sort of thing. If you don't have some music from that in the next video, you'll be disappointed. I think if I had some music from this in any video, you're probably going to be disappointed. Right, so it says we need parts 1 and 2, which are these two big wheels. I guess we're just going to get started with that. 1 and 2, that looks like those. So is that upside down? It doesn't look like it. I don't think there's a known orientation for this. It smells really nice. It smells like it smells like laser cut wood, surprisingly. Right, how do I pop these out without breaking things? Does it actually? Because I can see that happening. Now it said it was all completely toolless, and then the first thing it says is you will need a knife. Okay. Got sharp points. Cut pieces, removing the part from the board. Okay, so I do need a tool for that. This is not a structural component, it is a tool for measurement and assembly. What is? This is an auxiliary model called a hammer. Maybe we should start with the hammer. So that's actually nothing to do with this. This is just something else they've thrown in. Okay. And it says there's actually there's a thing to poke stuff out. There's a special tool to poke stuff out of the board, and it looks like that there. So this one here looks like this in the instructions, which is used for poking things out of the board. So if I can, you see, this is what I don't want to do is kind of snap things out. I'm actually going to have to go and get a knife. I mean, that snapped out okay, but I've got a feeling some of the smaller parts might not work that well. We'll have a look. Now, I've got my little pen knife here, and we'll see if that'll work. It is quite sharp. I can even use a smaller blade on it. We'll try that and see if see how far we get. So I need to pop out these two big wheels. That's where we're going to start. Go to page 1. So that's the tool. You can't see that, can you? Where is the camera? There's the camera. Right, so we're going to pop out these two big wheels to start. So you can hear it all sort of going crunch and snap and Oof. Yeah, not so sure about that. I'll have a go at trying to cut them out, but I just think the actual cutting gap is so small that I don't think that's going to be something I can actually get a knife into, particularly on these circular ones. I mean, how am I supposed to pop things like this out? I don't like it. Right, so we popped out the two wheels, and this is there's a little arrow on them. There we go. Little arrows to line up. Let's have a look. Missed a few chats. Hi from Russia. Hello, Hooligan 228. Yes, welcome. Special tool, the hammer. I thought that. It's surprising they gave you the hammer. I did actually think, is that the tool? So you think I'm supposed to use this as the tool and hammer the back of that? Maybe. How are you going to poke out the tool? If you that's a good meta question. But good job. It looks like the tool is probably one of the most robust parts. Everything looks really intricate and delicate. It's like the scissors in blister packs that need scissors to open them. Who knew a hurdy-gurdy stream would have so much suspense? Exactly. Right. So it says I am to line up. Well, can you actually see the instructions? Oh, you can kind of see the instructions over there. If I put that there and there, where's my screen boundary? Because if I put my knife sort of there, then okay, I know where to stop. So line up the two arrows, which I'm doing, and then these are the insides, the 1 and the 2. Let's make sure there's no arrows on the other side. No, there's no arrows on the other side. So the 1 and 2 go together, like this. And it says I should sand. I should sand the outside of this disc to make sure that it's smooth. Let's use the sandpaper here to make sure that we've got a smooth edge. Does that mean you use the sandpaper all the way around it? I think it probably does. You see, I'd be tempted to fasten that together and then sand it. But regardless, I'm going to need part 3 to fasten all of this together. So let's go and find part 3. Looks like a load of little wooden nails, for want of a better phrase. Part 3. Part 3. Didn't see 3. Is that it? No, they're not it. Part 3. Part 3. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. Part 3. Oh, great. Well, there's 3 of them there. They scattered across multiple boards. So there's 3 threes on there. Oh. First time from viewer, Alex Simnum, Discord. Yeah, sorry, I don't have any fancy bots or anything like that. Usually, one of the mods will go and post something. Subscribe to Tier 1. Thorium said, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm missing parts, I think, already from my hurdy-gurdy. Hang on, one of those. That's 63. No, we're not looking for part 63. Part 3. You see, what I'm looking for are these bits here in the middle. So they're labelled number 3. Found them. Found them. They're all here. They're all here along these edges. Looks like they're using these parts all over the place. Right, so let's pop out a pack of 3s. Oh, Voxel. Oh, community sub gift. Don't know what that is. But nonetheless, a bunch of people got some subs because of Voxel. Thank you very much. And thank you, Danny, for posting the link there. Appreciate that. Alex, welcome. Alex, didn't see you there. Remember, the circle goes into the circle-shaped hole. I think the tool fits into the square holes near the edges of the components to lever the parts out. I think the square holes are where we're going to be sticking things like these little pegs. There's all sorts going on here. I don't know either. First subs gifted. Well, thank you, Foxel. They probably just put the parts on the board as they best fit. Yeah, I don't think they'll be in order. They'll be whatever is economically sensible. But we'll pop out some of these now. These look a bit delicate. I hope they give you some spare ones of these. Oh, it's the cracking noise they make as you sort of push things out. You know what? I'm going to use the tool. The tool. There we go. 1. How many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. 1. See? Ooh, that one's got like bits broken on it, but it's not the thing that's broken, it's just the packaging. 2, 3. I think we'll have to tidy some of these up as well. Yeah. 4. It's like having pistachio shells all over the stuff. There's going to be muck and bits everywhere. 5. 6. 7. Ugh. 8. Right, let's tidy some of those up. We'll only take what we need for now. So there's one that looks okay. Yeah, it's got a bit more the packaging on. Do I need to sort of fettle all of these? 2, 3, 4. And this one's got one on. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well, I'm glad too many, not too many people have joined and gone, oh, this isn't programming. Ooh. And Megarev's missing out on all of this wood. That's an in-joke. Not many people get that. Right, Kit Carson, hello. Yes. What are we building? We're building a hurdy-gurdy. Yes, not everybody quite knows what a hurdy-gurdy is. This was the box. And as usual, I'm not going to repeat this all the time, but this is bought with my own cash. This isn't sponsored or anything like that. Just thought we'd give it a go, and Hoolig on the Discord server put me onto this. This is programming, not just a computer one. Yeah, a very fine file might actually help. Are we going to play a piece for us when it's finished? Well, we'll see how far we get today. I suspect we're not going to finish it in one stream, simply because there's 292 pieces. I've now been streaming for 20 minutes, and we've popped out 10 of them, and haven't fastened anything together. Now, are these the kind of thing that once you shove them in once, they ain't ever coming out? I think they might be. Oh, and the holes are different sizes as well. That's very clever. Okay, so what we've got here are these two wheels that need to be fastened together, the rectangular holes. Let's try and get it on the camera so you can see them. They're actually not the same size. I was wondering if I've got a metal rule somewhere. Usually I do. Where's my metal rule gone? Can't see for measuring exactly stuff like this. What we can see is this hole is actually smaller than this hole, and the peg has a sort of a squashy bit. So expect we're going to shove it through the larger hole, and it's going to clamp onto the smaller hole. Just make sure that those arrows are still lined up. They are. And then I'll try filing it down, I think. Well, filing it with the sandpaper. So it says we push these through. So a little bit, so you missed it. Yeah, I think a little square edge file or a needle file might actually be very useful here. I'll push that through the first one. I see. I need to gauge how much force I need to use. Because imagine once these things are in. Oh, is that what the hammer's for? That might be what the hammer's for. Maybe we do have to build the hammer. It doesn't say to sort of construct the hammer first, but I've got a feeling in order to get these to actually engage with what they're sticking into. Oh yeah, it sounds a bit crunchy. Oh, that's a horrible noise. I mean, it has engaged. All right, let's persevere. Try again. Let's do opposite sides. So I was always taught that when you're fastening things up, always do them in opposites. I shall have a look at lots of things going beep and ping and pong over here. This looks complicated. Let's have a look. Where are we up to? You can't even post a Soundsize link, and I don't know. I don't sort of set any of the rules for Twitch because I don't know how to use the Twitch. Yeah, that creaking, those things are never coming back out. Alter, yes, it is complicated. Davinator, what are you building? It's a hurdy-gurdy. We're going to need the mods on some sort of default response for this, aren't we? Hurdy-gurdy kit. Right. And I don't think it's one of those things that you just sort of rush together as quickly as possible. Well, let's try again. I wonder if you guys obviously can hear the sort of the creaking of it all going together. Ah, lovely. Oh, ooh. That's it's going through me. However, it does seem to be. It's actually a really robust fastening. When this is like now a solid piece of ply. Now I don't know how to play a hurdy-gurdy. Oof. But I am a musician, you know, if it's got something that can play something remotely like a scale, we might be able to hack some tunes out of it. Oh, lovely. Let's push that one down. Oh! You see, when these are together, that's when I'm going to sort of sand off. See, where it's been fastened into the framework, it's got these little tiny marks, which I guess we need to smooth out. This is the thing that rubs against the string. At least I think so. Oh, yeah. Lovely. Last one of these for now, anyway. Yeah, they ain't ever coming out. But I mean, it's a very clever design. To just do this out of sheets of plywood, and when you see the intricacy of some of the models that they're providing, it's quite impressive. Hurdy-gurdy is a bit like it's a bit like a guitar, but with like an inverted violin, and a keyboard all mixed together. First time chat from Genderbread. I think it's some kind of string instrument. It is. It's got. I think it's got just two strings. One of those, like a bit like bagpipes. So there we go. It's an inverted violin that's played in the style of bagpipes, but with a keyboard. Is probably the best way to describe it. Sticky notes. Thank you, Danny Con. Okay. Yeah, I think the wheel is it's basically, this is going to be the bow. So the string is given tension across this, and you turn this, and it becomes like a never-ending bow. And one of the strings is a drone sound, so just a background "oh," and the other is a rough set of keys. At least I think that's what's going to happen. We can kind of see on here, these are actual note keys. And the idea is we crank this handle here, which turns the wheel, rubbing against the strings, and there's some tuning mechanism at the top as well to change the pitch of the drone. Right, so we've made the bow wheel. And now we're on to instruction 4. We need part 7 and 6. Oh, hang on. It says now I've got to get some sort of candle. What? Wax the part with regular candle. Rub with a candle, it says. Well, we've got to do that little bit of sanding, haven't we? Sanding all over the place on this. Let's just see what this feels like. Okay, at least this plywood is actually very soft. So that's already going perfectly smooth. It's turning into a full-on ASMR stream, this, isn't it? Just a nice, chilled Saturday afternoon. Now, I'm not pressing too hard because I guess you want this to remain as circular as possible. If it's got any bumps or dints in it, or if it goes egg-shaped, it's not going to play a consistent tone. Right. So what did you say that was? That we want part 7, 6, and then we've got to somehow wax these together. Well, we'll have a look. Let's find the parts first. So, can't see 7 and 6 on there. They look like these long. Oh, there we are. We'll go straight away. 7 and 6. Ooh, they look delicate. It does say we should try and cut these out, maybe. Yeah, these have lots of thin components. See, it says you can cut them out, but because of the curved profile, you'd never get a cutting tool into them. I'm just holding up to the light just to see where are the actual joins. Not that obvious. We need to be delicate though doing this. I can imagine I will snap a few of these out, and we'll have to get the old wood glue going, I think, to put it right. I try and... It just doesn't feel right cutting them. At least this is a bit more complicated than the car builds and the robot builds, isn't it? So what I'm looking for, you'll be able to see this on the camera, is you can actually see where they've left these little tangs in. I'm just trying to weaken them with the knife rather than saw through them in any way. But these parts look important and they look delicate. I'm hoping that whoever designed it put these support tangs in structurally strong places on the part. So here we've got really fine detailed parts. Hopefully they're not in any way fastened to this outer frame, and it's just the big strong robust ones. Oh, even so, it makes me nervous. Do you know what? I'm going to go and get a proper knife to do this. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Haha. Okay, so there's all sorts going on again. Hang on a sec. Candle isn't odd. Oh, hang on, I'm going back even further. Do you know what an accordion is? Yes, I have an accordion downstairs, actually. The design is very nice. Where did you get it from? U-Gears. I'm out of breath because I've run up and down the stairs. I've got my knife, but as always with a Stanley knife, well, the blade looks like it's been stuck up somebody's ass. So I'm going to just try and swap the blade around. It's becoming an effort now, this stream, isn't it? Let's put that away. This Twitch stream just full of knives and blades on the bench. So let's open that up. Oh, well, the other blade doesn't... Oh, well, there's actually a completely unused blade in there. In fact, there's two. Let's have a look at replacing this nasty one. With a newish one. Stuck together. There we go. Right. That looks a bit better. It's got a point on it at least. There we go. Ah, better. Good. I think the candle is basically a lubricant. So you wax the wood, it allows you to slide parts together. If we've got moving parts, things like axles and spindles, they're going to need to move within wooden bearings effectively, so you need something to sort of lubricate it. Hook up the Raspberry Pi to this thing. Why don't you put some motors on it? Do the instructions say whether the pieces are push-poppable? It implies that they are, yeah. But it does seem that just some of them, I don't want to take the risk. Saladin, use the tool before you give me the heart attack. And Christian says, cut the frame. I think you're right. We might have to do a bit of surgery on the frame. Voxel Coder with some more Tier 1 gifts. Thank you very much. Since you never really watched Twitch, have the rest of my coins. Exactly. Everybody was subscribing to the empty chair there. Knife disassembly noises make the best ASMR. Make sure you have adult supervision. Well, there's no adults here. I call this a Stanley knife. In the UK, it would be known as a Stanley knife, which is a brand name of knife, but the form factor is the same. It's not really a craft knife. Now, the blade might be a bit too big still, but it's better than the little penknife blade I was using. If for no other reason, it's sharp. Oof, there we go. That might have been the one, actually. But yeah, I think the way forward might be to start sort of cutting around the thing and then picking off the bits of frame. It's getting there, it's getting there. Why does it have to be made out of something so delicate? We have these wonder materials called plastics, but they're not popular anymore. Okay, haha. Well, it's been a good stream. We've got one piece out of the board. Now, its counterpart is looks even more delicate. So let's just have a look. So there's one there. Support that there. That one's out. Oh, that one's out. That one's out. That one's out. There we go. So I think as long as we can identify where those little tangs are, we can do this. Right. Oh. So what have we got here? We've got two bits that look like they fork together as such, and then it's going to say I need to wax these parts. So let's basically the long bit should go together. I don't think there's a particular orientation. It just is slide them as so. That's it. So that end's going to grip. It looks like it's going to grip through the... Oh, God. Have you seen what I've got to cut out now? Right, so 5. This is going to fasten it all together. Now, the idea of the wax is we're going to have to insert this through quite a few pieces of wood, and it may end up becoming just a bit difficult to do that. So we will see. Let's have a look. So it now wants me to pull out parts 4 and 5, which are these intricate, almost fractal-like components. Now I'm going to stick that there and move the wheel out of the way. Not looking forward to this one in the slightest. I don't think they're actually fastened in anywhere, so these should just be a pop-out. Because they're probably just relying on the friction to keep it in place. It does actually look like there's one there. Yeah, there's not many, but there is one. One there. Are you all placing bets? You really have to focus. Obviously, there is more things to cut. One there. You can see them on the back a bit better. One there. 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 Ah, Hulig is here. Excellent. Hulig, yes. So this is the same Hulig that recommended the kit to me in the first place. It's the guy who you should really all complain to about, firstly, the suspense of trying to break the parts out. Secondly, the overall quality of the stream. And thirdly, the overall tone of the instruments at the end when we get done. Basically, it's all Hulig's fault. But I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Okay, this one looks like we're winning. We're winning. So whoever said Javid will definitely break bits of this ornate decorative part, well, they might still be in with it. Do you know what this reminds me of? If you've not watched it yet, I've just finished episode, I think, 4 of Squid Game. And those that have watched it will know which bit I'm talking about. Oh, look at that. Whew. What are the disclaimers? Sorry, I'm obviously missing some part of it here. Let's have a look. Mr. Few chat. Sorry about that. I've been paying attention to what I'm doing. It gets worse. Must not be. I don't know. Something about knives, and then we've got a first-time chat from Vincent Valentine 29. I like how peaceful that place looks. Yes, it's very nice. I don't like how that piece of wood bends when you cut parts out of it. Yeah, that's the bit that makes me think, well, you know, the framework will bend easily, so the part will bend easily too. Right, we've got to do that again now with part... that was part 4, and I don't know if there's a way to tell them apart. Oh no, there should be a way to tell them apart, shouldn't there? Yeah, because when they go together, they're sort of opposite polarity. Right, so part 4... Right, part 5. Ooh. And we'll have a look at the back again and see if we can cut some stuff just to get us going. So there's a cut, and there's a thing there, and when they say use a craft knife, what they really mean is use a high precision surgical blade. Okay. I mean, I'm just looking later down the line. Some of these things we're going to have to break out. These are probably, I would guess, the worst parts because they've got these delicate. It's purely ornate. Okay, that one's loose to about there. Right, so each of the fingers is loose. That's a good start. One. It does require quite a bit of force. 3. Ah, they've gone the other way now. It's pivoting on something. There we go. Oh, well, that one wasn't too bad, was it? Right. So I've got 2 decorative wheels, and I'm just going to have a drink in a second. Oh, it's all this tension. Yeah, Hulig. I think we'll probably need some wood glue at some point. Right. It said we needed to wax this shaft. Let's all wax our shaft. Turn this into a very different type of stream. Well, I have a little piece of the wax candle it provides. I think it is actually a candle. Looks like there's a bit of string or something going through the middle of it. And it says I should just wax the shaft. I'm tempted to give some of these a little bit of a sand as well. It's not advised me to do it, but I think anywhere where we've got these sort of protruding tangs or flash points to the board, I think we'll just take those off too. Right, so it's now, I can't remember which one was which. Which one was 4 and which one was 5? This one was 5. This one was 5. Right, so 5's on the front. Got my wheel. 5's going on like that. 4 is going on like that. And this is going through 5, through the front and out the back. So I think this is why they provided us with that little hammer. Let's just try it piece by piece to begin with. So that's only going to get that far. Ah, wrong way. You wouldn't think I have like degrees falling out my ears, would you? Right, so there we go. That way is a bit better. Oh, it's definitely going to be tight. We might actually need the hammer that they've provided for you. That's deceptive. There we go. Didn't it again? Exactly the same thing again. Ooh, creaking. Long ways, so we don't do it a third time. Right, that's the part. We've got to get this wheel up to that stopping point there. Right, I think we may have to assemble the hammer. Kulig, did yours come with a hammer? I'm not drinking Vimto today. Yeah, but you never used it. Okay. Do you reckon the hammer exists to do these sort of pegs into holes? Or did you just Hulig force it? Like, rah, and just go for it? Doesn't feel right to force it. Probably need more wax. So if we need more wax, let's put some more wax on. Handle. Oh, okay, so you used a tool as a you actually used a tool as a hammer. It wasn't sort of like a good enough push fit. It did need some persuasion. I don't want to sort of whack too much these parts. Ooh. That's very stiff. I wonder if it's easier to do this one at a time rather than all of them together. Kind of implies you should do all of them together. Let's try it one at a time. So let's back off. Try again. Yeah, one at a time seems to be the way forward. There we go. So we can get that all the way up. Right. Put the crankshaft on a flat surface with a hole if you have one. I have my build bench. I should get some more tools up here. First time chat from the Ferecki phone. Why the lone in one lone coder? I don't tend to have anybody else here to code with. This stream is rife with innuendo. I'll tell you what, I work in an industry which is completely rife with innuendo. Everything is about how to put the probe in the annulus. So it's you get used to it after a while. I think that's just mechanical engineering in general. Right, that felt a bit more positive. Okay, we're getting a feel for... Part of this is I've got to sort of become familiar with just how tactile all of this is as well. Now, once I get familiar with how strong the wood feels... yeah, this is a family-friendly stream, this one. Right, they're all in. There we go. So, whew, I mean, how long's that taken? I've been streaming for 50 minutes. Nothing snapped. It's sort of locked into place. So along the edges, there is a profile which you probably can't pick up on the resolution of my camera, which allows it to sort of, once it goes over it, it can clip and spring. So all of the wood expands and acts like springs with little stoppers and locking plates. We actually have a look at that selection here. This might be a bit easier to look at. Let's look at this in detail. Where have I got a thing? So, come on camera, zoom in. Sort it out. There we go. So you can actually see the two legs at the bottom of one of these pegs has a very tiny lip just at the end of it. So once they've gone through, those two legs squeeze together and then they pop out the other side and sort of clamp on to the thing that they're attaching to. Okay, good. So that when you hear it sort of click and pop, that's what you're hearing happen. But of course, it sounds really bad because we've got wood on wood. Oh dear! I'm thinking of all the clips that we made. Right. Okay, I think that is a nice wheel. It's nice and smooth. We can probably always make it smoother. And I can, if necessary, I could potentially also stick it in a rotary lathe. I mean, it actually it's balanced well. So that's for a bit of laser cut plywood. That's actually quite impressive. I like that. That's good. Right, so we're on to the next page. Exciting stuff. Time for a slurp. Right, next page is... Right, okay, we need 8i, 90, 90 and 8i. Well, they're not on that one. Not on that one. Not on that one. Not on that one. Kind of looked like it would be on that, but no, they're not on that one either. Definitely 8 and 9. That's 86. Probably gone past it already. No, oh, hang on. This one looks promising. What have we got here now? It's 52 and 47. 52s on the 47s. They kind of look like what I'm after, but not quite. They're not in sort of any grouped order. Ah, there they are. Actually, they're actually on the. I suppose that they are actually on it in a bit of a grouped order. These are the. They're here, and I'm kind of like it is almost sequential. The numbers I've seen some of them are a bit out of place, but there they are anyway. So we're looking for an 8-0 and sorry, an 8I and a 9-0. Where's the little tool? This one looks a bit delicate. It's not much material on these corners. These are the sort of wood glue moments. Oh. Have a look at the back. What's holding this in? It's coming, it's coming. Here we go. Right, so these look like important sort of runoffs, and I guess that's why it's asking me to sand these down, wax and sand them. These probably act like a bearing of some description. So I take my wheel, and it says put the big one on first, which was the 9, and an 8I on the 2. So we want the 9 on the first. So that's going to push on over to those, and then that one is going to. I think that one's just to sort of fasten it all together. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Oof. Creaky, creaky. Ow. Okay, so you can trap your fingers in the parts and it hurts. Alex, Kinder Surprise used to be great. They're terrible now in the UK. Literally, the toy, there's no assembly because they're too dangerous. So you get some little rubbish model and a whole bunch of disclaimers. Right, we need another of those. To do the other side with. Should have popped 2 of these out when we needed them. Okay, 1. Ooh. Need the tool. Need the tool. Smooth these off again. Now whenever you're fettling something round, it's very easy to make it not round. So just light and easy, I think, is probably the best way to go. And also I'm trying to sort of file it in the circumferential direction. If I was to file it sort of like this, then I'm absolutely going to put a flat onto the surface. So if I just kind of keep my finger a bit curved, just so it hugs the profile a bit more. Right, now this one sits at the other end, a little bit of wax. And it's big and then small again. Big. And then small. There we are, they've gone on quite nicely. I like the fact that this isn't getting done in sort of 10 seconds. I was a bit worried when you see these kits and you think, oh, I'll just clip them all together. And you get sort of maybe half an hour's entertainment out of it. This is going to take 4 or 5 episodes of Code Zone, I'm sure. First time chat from Ada Ryan. The assembled Kinder Eggs were the best. I think the ones that you had to assemble were the best. Certainly that's what I was thinking. Took about 3 hours, Huli. Okay. Did you do it in front of a live studio audience? Right, there's a symbol here in the instructions that says page 46. So what specifically about page 46 have I ignored? Well, page 46 is, believe it or not, medieval rock and roll. There's some songs to play. I think it's just telling us a way to fasten all this together later on. We'll see what that symbol means. Let's check the instructions. What does a little blue circle mean? I've not seen the symbol anywhere. No, it doesn't say. Don't know what this means. P46. Well, anyway, we're on to some bigger bits now, at least. And, stupid me not reading the instructions properly, it tells you which panels you need for the parts. So that's an observation that none of you clocked, so I'm blaming all of you. Aoki 9 had to go away, yes. Well, that's what happens sometimes, you just get a free sub. Alter Ego, I think the most complex thing I've ever put together were Bionicles. Bionicles? Well, Hewley, you didn't say it loud enough. Right, well, given the fact that there's no code going on, we're doing alright for viewers. More than I was expecting, anyway. So, actually, what I want then is this sheet and the big sheet. I need that one and this one. So that one we've been pinching all the little wheels and things from. Now it looks like we're going to get some of the more structural bits. So it wants me to get parts... Is that the same thing? Yeah, that's that sheet. It wants part 28. Well, 28, another 90, and a 10, which is a spur gear. So 28's this big one up here. So what we'll have to do, Hewlig, when I finish this, is I'll record a bit of a track, and you record a bit of a track, and we'll get guys on the Discord server to sort of mix them. and it'll be entirely done with our hurdy-gurdies. I'm sure Megetsu or Anikator will be more than happy to sit there for hours tweaking our hurdy-gurdy playing to make it sound awesome. Don't want to force any of these parts if I can help it. I can't sort of fatigue wood like you can with metal. No, that one's fastened there. Okay, so that's part 28, and then we needed part 10 and another 9. 9 and 10. So 10 is this gear. Now, we've not tried popping a gear out yet, have we? But this gear has little joining tangs all over the place. This could be a disaster. And hear other bits cracking. Ooh. Tell you what, we'll pop out one of these easier ones first, a 9, because we've done a few of those already. Don't lose it. So I'd be half tempted to sort of snap that part off and then try and do this without breaking everything else. Ooh. It's kind of free. It's moving, it's wiggling about. And there we go. So what it wants me to do is take our thing, take this thing, that's going to sit and run on there like that. So you can see that is like a running bearing. So before we get too carried away with that, we'll wax that one up good and proper. And we'll also wax the inside of that hole too. Okay, and then it wants the number 9, which I'll just take off the tangs again. Oh, that's very nice. Somebody's really thought about this when they've been designing it. And finally, this gear, which I'm guessing connects directly to the crankshaft. Yeah, that's not bad at all. So, Hughley, yours isn't sounding very good. Well, you know what they say, musicians always blaming their instruments and that sort of thing. Reminds me a bit of Squid Game. Well, somebody just had a go at me for saying, yeah, somebody said that ages ago. Well, I said that ages ago, Alter. So we're on to another big structural part now, part 29, which also requires another gear, part 11, and then part 57. Now they look like they require hammers, part 57. We'll see, there's a whole bunch of 57s on here. Well, there's Alter Ego spoiling it for everybody that's not watched it yet. Ooh. Ooh. So the fact that it just goes when it's ready to go, and you don't know, is it gone because it's broken from the frame, or is it gone because an important part of it's just snapped? Right, so that's the part. Now 57, we're going to need a bunch of these. Let's pop out the 57 itself. Seems to be within a whole thing that can be popped out. That might just make life a bit easier. And we also need gear number 11. Gear 11 is this big one up here. Let's try getting that out. Not so bad when the parts are big. Okay, well, the whole thing has come out there. Fortunately, it's not broken off on any part of the model, so that might make life a bit easier. There we go. Excellent. Right, so it says I've got to take the thing. Again, this is going to be running on a shaft, so I'm going to apply some extra wax just on that middle bearing. And it's going through the top hole. Just so you know, certain parts do have spares. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I guess they must know which bits are going to be the difficult ones to pop out. I'm pleased that there are spares. I need 2 of these. So these are basically little plugs which are going to seal up all of this once we finish the construction. Now that doesn't feel anywhere near as nice and free running. So let's just understand that, and why is that the case. What we'll probably do is, maybe I've got a bit of a rough side there. That feels better. There we go. Right, so now we want to put a gear on the end. This gear specifically. Gear 11. Before we get to gear 11, there are some bits in gear 11 that haven't popped out. You can see those if we zoom in. So they just stuck in the teeth there. Now I'm surprised that it is just the gear on the end here. There isn't another bush-like bearing. Just double check the instructions there, but no, there doesn't seem to be. Because that, it is reasonably free moving. That's good. So now it wants me to use these little sort of nails almost in these end parts. And I guess it's going to want me to tap those in. And that's to push out these parts so they grip properly on the gear shaft. I'm tempted to sort of assemble a hammer at this point and use that hammer to hammer in those little tangs. So let's do that. It doesn't look like there's very much to the hammer. Oh, sorry. Clipped my microphone there. Nine, 99. So I'm guessing those can pretty much go in any order, and the other one is 10 at the top. Right, no, we'll have a look at the instructions for this. The hammer needs a hammer in order to make it. No, a quick drink. Right, that's a good question, I guess. So what about surfaces that are next to spinning surfaces? So that's what I was a bit worried about. So here we've got a gear right up against this wooden surface. Well, there's an illusion that it's right up against it, but actually there is a small gap. And that's a gap by design, because I can't push this gear any further up. Whereas on the other side, it clearly does want to sandwich between the two. But the gap is, again, it's tolerance to the thickness of the plywood. That's what I think. It's very well designed. Very clever design. Anyway, we'll not start on instruction 7. We'll start on instruction 1 for the hammer. So parts 1 and 2. 1 and 2. The hammer looks quite intricate. There's all sorts of teeth and grips and things on it. Hey, look at this. Zoom in. I don't know if you can actually see along here. There you are. It's serrated. See? Interesting. Right, so taking part 1 and 2, basically I mesh the serrations like that. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Squash those together, and that gives you like a lateral fastening. You do need a hammer to do this. There we go. Nice. Same for 3 and 4. There we go. Gotta love laser CNCs. We have a nice one at work. It's a CO2 laser for cutting. We use it mostly for cutting through perspex, but it will also do wood. No call for ever doing anything with wood at work, though. Right, so that's 2 bits of a handle. So 3 and 4 fastened together. Now we need where did I put the other hammer bits? 5 and 7. So 5 is this one. Oh, now these look complicated. We're done with that entirely. No, that's rubbish. Lots of serrated parts again. It's good that this is a high quality little webcam, this one. It takes a little bit of time to zoom in and gets easily distracted by everything in the background. There we go. So quite a lot of complexity to this part. So that one's number 5. It's got a little bit of flash there. We'll just chop that off. And number 7 is on this side. And it says I should just be able to, I guess when I shove these through the holes, they'll ratchet together, these two serrated edges. Let me, I need to get a piece of graph paper or something to sort of get these to focus quicker. You see, they should ratchet together once I start inserting them through these holes. So we'll have a look. That handle is that way up. One of them goes through there. There's actually a little marker to tell me which hole, which is the right way up. So that's 5. Goes through like that, and I imagine once I start sticking this one in, it ain't ever coming out. So there's a big exclamation mark. Let's go for it. I don't know. Making all sorts of crunchy grinding noises. I don't think there's an order to this. Ugh. Ugh. Well, it's done it. It's very clever. But you've got to get that right, haven't you, before you commit to that. Okay, let's do the other bits, 6 and 8. It's a bit nerve-wracking, that one, wasn't it? 6 and 8, there we are. I'm going to snap that bit off there. There we go. Because I think this is the same sort of deal. One there. And one there. Squeeze. Okie dokie. Right, now we need parts 11, which are these sort of pegs that are split at each end. Pop those out. Now, Helig said the hammer had no weight to it at all, so it might not be very suitable for tapping in quite a bit of this, but we'll see. It's worth having a look. So the instructions kind of suggest that we sort of take one to begin with and insert these pegs. And we insert the pegs, which way is the split going? So the split is going on the same line, there we go. Oof. Oof. Now, I think it's kind of implying that the instruction here is very simple. I don't imagine this to be the case. Let's have a look, because I've got to get it all of those bits now. That's one. Let's try and keep you a bit square, make life a bit easier for myself. And finally, number 10. Right. Okay, that's the hammer head. So all that's left is number 12, which are these tapered pegs, which I guess you kind of need to hammer into. There's a little plus next to that one, so I guess that's a spur. That's probably to indicate this is going to go wrong quite easily. Okie dokie. So I've put the pegs in the end. There we go. And I've just pushed those in sort of smooth. So I've made a hammer. That's not bad. If only you had a hammer, you could knock those pieces in. Yeah, it is a bit like that. Earthquake. Sorry, is that a... Yes, keep forgetting the microphone's right next to sort of the build bench. That's worked out quite nicely. So now we should be able to delicately and precisely hammer in these pegs, which I'm very skeptical about whether they fit or not, but that's amazing. I'm very impressed with that. Right, not only do they fit and fit very well, they only fit in one way as well. So yeah, again, credit to the designer on this thing. Well, there we go. That's not too bad. Yeah, we should get an emoji of this as the banhammer, shouldn't we? Well, I mean, that helped. It's better than using the back of the knife. It doesn't have any weight to it, but I think it's enough to start tip-tapping these kind of things. Right, let's have a look. One more page of instruction, I think, and then we'll have to call it a day for today, mainly because I'm running out of daylight. Oh dear, of course, this page looks frightfully complicated. It's popping out gears all over the place. So let's see which page do we need. So we want number 16 and number 15. So there's 4 lots of number 15. 1, 2, 3. And that's the spare 15. 4 lots of 15 and 16 is the big gear. So let me move that out of the way for the time being. Big gear. Well, the big gear wasn't too bad. That looks like it's coming away reasonably freely. Yeah, that wasn't too bad at all. So we do need, however, 4 lots of 15. Well, it allows me to break them out into some sort of sub-module, so I'll do that first. Well, it did for those two, but for these two it doesn't. A bit easier to work with. Where's my tool? Where's the pushing tool? Pushing tool. Ooh. Now that might just actually be the easiest way to do this, is just to snap this frame and let the gear become free. At least now I'm only battling on one side. There's a gear. This gear is going to need a little bit of tidying up by the looks of it. Don't want to rush it, don't want to get carried away. Take your time. Oh, we lost a little tiny chip off one of the teeth there. It doesn't look like it's compromised the tooth, but we'll run with it for now. It does provide a spur gear, but I don't think as in SPAR, not UR. Take that bit out. Right. Now we need some pegs, some number 3 pegs, which were these. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And 4. Let's just tidy up these pegs. Ah, 4 pegs and 2 more gears to pop out. Oof. These actually feel quite delicate, these components. So that's why I'm just going quiet whilst I'm concentrating. There we go. And it says we should take 16 and all of these gears just fasten into this. One there, one there, one there, and one there. Okay, we'll give that a go. Now, the pegs themselves sort of go perpendicular to the spur that they're attached to. So I guess are these going to be free to rotate? Is that the intention? I guess we'll find out. Take our little hammer. Yeah, these are a bit fiddlier because I can't see the hole that I'm hammering into. Whereas before I could sort of see the hole. There we go. So they are free to rotate. So again, it clicked at the right height. Oof, lovely. And that one's not as free spinning as the others. So I wonder if some of these are going to cause us problems in the future. I imagine that by the time we get to the end of it, it's probably going to be a lot more friction in this than there would normally be, but we'll see. Just wondering if we've got much more time. What time are we on? We're on... Ooh, we'll actually run over by 39 minutes. That's not good for me, is it? First time chat from Alan K2. You forgot I even streamed. Well, you can always look at the Javid X9 Extra channel. There's a stream every week. But thank you for joining us. Chocolate and milk, hello and good evening. Well, hello and good evening to you too. But I think we're now at the end of today's stream, I think. I think that's not a bad... we've made some progress. I don't know what gear is supposed to be turning what at the moment. Obviously it's none of these, I don't think. Potentially could be something like that one. Maybe, I don't know. But we've made quite an intricate mechanism so far. I'm pretty pleased with that. So far, I think the quality of the kit's been very good. Oh, and we made a hammer as well. There we go. with the tool. So I don't want to lose any of these parts. We might have a bit more going on tomorrow. It looks like we've got more gearbox stuff to be working on in the meantime. Now, I won't build any of this off stream, so we can carry on with this excitement tomorrow. Corey C. Lund, good morning, and first time chat from you too. Yes, that is the end of today's stream. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you when I see you. I did the raid last time. I didn't like the raid because it just sort of cut me off. So we won't do that again. All right, everybody, take care. I'll see you later.